taunting, beating, berating opponents, trash talking, or bashing, ridicule, or causing backlash to them. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion should not be tolerated. No subject of violence, any judgment may result in penalty against such if such grounds are heard, will be assessed immediately. We have to instruct not to warnings. It is your responsibility to line to this policy. Now, let's all rise. Remember our hats and honor the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nest. So excited to be here for the start of the 21 wrestling season. Things are right in the world, Tony, now that we have wrestling back. I'm here with Mr. Anthony Scirrotto to my left, wrestling connoisseur. We're going to bring you all the action here tonight, Tony. We're getting right into wrestling with the defending Group 2 South champions and a very hot Lower Cape May Tigers team. Tony, what are your introductory thoughts as we get ready to kick it off at heavyweight?
Really excited, Jay. Really excited to see this match. Two heavyweights coming together. Lower Cape May finishing second last year in the Atlantic Cape. West Ever winning Group 2 South Jersey. Really excited to see this match.
And we're getting right to the action, Tone, here at heavyweight with a sophomore, Jabril Barksdale for West Ever, and a senior, Matthew Craig for Lower Cape May. Matthew Craig, a very dangerous heavyweight, a lot of throws with his upper body, and luckily for Jabril, he's got a little bit of a length advantage. But whenever you're wrestling a heavyweight that's a little bit shorter and can throw, meaning lateral drops, headlocks, you always got to be aware of where your head is, Tone.
Yep. It's good to see Jabril out there. Had the pleasure of coaching this young man in football.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, these you hit the nail on the head when you said two heavyweight teams matching up. Last year, Lower Cape May finished with a record of 17-2. Cape Atlantic League Coach of the Year went to Billy Damiana, the head coach, the young head coach from Lower Cape May, a Lower Cape May alum, and he actually led the Tigers to their first playoff win since 1983 and finished second in the Cape National Division behind Buna, going against our Eagles, who finished last year 19-9, got super hot at the end of the year, ended up beating Haddonfield, our rival, in the championship to win their second straight, and then made it run all the way to the state finals in a tough loss against High Point. So, you know, Tone, with a very short preseason, we didn't have a scrimmage. I know West Effort did not. You know, what's your outlook and keys to victory in this match?
I think our keys to victory tonight, there's going to be a couple toss-up matches. If by chance we lose them toss-up matches, we've got to keep our bonus points to a minimum, to the best as we can. Hopefully win them toss-up matches, and I think we have a really good shot of winning this match, Jay.
Agreed on the bonus points. I mean, that's what it comes down to with two teams who – there are no team playoffs this year. You and I talked about it prior to the broadcast. Watch a throw here.
There it comes. Bear hug.
But there are no team playoffs. So, you know, talk to us, Tony, about what that does when there are no bump in the lineup. And
yeah, you're not going to move athletes around to try and win the matches. You're going to let them wrestle the best wrestlers, because this year you're going to need to do that with wrestle all the
qualifying,
region qualifiers. You have to wrestle all the best wrestlers to qualify for regions this year.
There are no districts. Usually wrestlers get to the postseason, and the place in the top 3, anybody makes it out to region. So it's really, some guys are just shooting for third. But this year there's only regions, and the only way you're getting there is with some kind of criteria. So when you look at our lineup, Cody Thurston placed 8th in the state a year ago. He's automatically locked for regions. The rest of the lineup needs to wrestle the best at their weight class for the next 15 matches and get in.
Exactly. I tell you what, this is a pretty active first period for these two guys.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And Jabril doing a nice job staying away from those throws.
It's exciting to see him getting at it a little bit.
Yeah, the tricky part is, as General Patton said, fatigues make cowards of us all. So, I've been in that place before as a big guy when you wrestle a great first period and you just forget for 1 second about your stance, and next thing you know, you're being thrown and counting ceiling tiles. So, you got to be aware and be in a great stance.
Yep. Collar ties here, they look really, really strong.
I'll tell you what, Jabril making a lot of progress in the room.
Oh, stay away from that.
Yeah. Anytime Matt locks his hands around Jabril's body, there's the potential for a big-time move.
Yeah.
And I think Matt knows that. And I'll be honest with you, I think both these wrestlers want to get it into the third period. Matt cannot try to force the issue and put himself in a bad situation if he wants to score points here. On the flip side, Jabril needs to continue to actively wrestle but keep himself out of bad situations.
Right. Jabril's strong, too. Really strong. Talked to the coaches today. To be able to see a young man, 260 pounds. Oh.
Yeah, it's a body lock, step through.
There's a trip.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm not going to say it was anticipated, but that's what Matt does, and the coaching staff knew that. Jabril did that. Again, a young wrestler and a sophomore, Jabril Barksdale, did everything he could in the first period to stay away, but there's just that one moment where you forget about it, and you get tired, and you take 1 second off, and you get body locked.
You got to fight that body lock a little bit.
Got to pummel in.
Keep your weight down.
So Lower Cape May going to forfeit at 106, and freshman Anthony Contando. So right off the bat, you have a 6-6 match.
Yep.
Again, this is anticipated. I love being in the war room with Coach Shields and Coach Iraldi, drawing up the matchups for the game. You and I spent a lot of time today as well.
Exactly. I'll tell you what, I watched the JV match with you guys, and there's a lot of potential in that West Everett room, let me tell you.
100%. 100%. Freshman Trevor Lundfeld, another freshman going against Joseph DeLong.
Nice takedown to a half. Look at this.
Wow.
Nice. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of electricity in this gym right now, and there's no fans, Jimmy.
And it's amazing. We get two parents per wrestler in the room, but with the teams being up in the stands, both teams, and even the JV match, did a great job of staying locked in and engaged, and it feels like you're in a packed house sometimes.
I know. I heard you talking to Riley at the JV match. It's great to see the wrestlers in the stands cheering. It gives the kids a little bit of incentive.
All right, Tone, big match here. This is junior Jacob McDonald for the Eagles. Let's see what Lower Cape May does. Lower Cape May, another forfeit. So, when you talk momentum, Tone, it was 6-0 with a big pin. Suddenly 18-6 going into captain and first team all-conference selection, A.J. Monahan. What does he need to do here against Christian Douglas?
He needs to keep the momentum going. A.J. needs to wrestle hard, wrestle 6 minutes. Try and capitalize, maybe get a couple bonus points here as one of the captains. Ooh.
This is not Douglas. This is Robert Elwell. A.J. in on a deep shot right off the bat.
Nice.
Tone, this is what you talked about, all about bonus points, right?
Yep, that's what we talked about. Nice far side cradle here. Nice back points.
I'll tell you what, one of the big things about this first match of the year, Tony, is if AJ gets a pin right here. Okay, so now the electricity is through the roof, but you still got to manage your emotions.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. You don't want to get too crazy out of control in the mat.
Right, because as
control
you
yourself
know,
out there.
In Lower Cape May, not to make a too big of a pun here, but there's a sleeping tiger.
They got some horses coming up.
Yes, there's a murderer's row coming.
Stay in control and keep going. I'll tell you what, it's exciting to see some wrestling live.
You got that right. You got that right. Good wrestling, too. Two real good teams.
Some good wrestling coming up this weekend with West Effort. Right. I think we got a home match on Friday.
Sterling Silver Knights coming to the nest on Friday and then traveling to the Dogs.
To the Dogs.
David Tosto, Emory Eagles.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. This is a big match.
Yeah, we got David Tosto against Justin Monzo Hall, Tone.
Justin, very aggressive wrestler. They bumped the Tosto kid down, correct?
Yeah. Anticipated that David would go somewhere up around 45.
Nice shot.
He gets down to 32, and now this is a toss-up match. Tony, talk to us about what a toss-up match means.
That's where both coaches feel that the wrestlers are about equal in their ability, and it could go either way. Hopefully you don't make the mistake. You catch the other guy in the mistake. You wrestle hard, wrestle well.
This is a big moment right here, Tone. This is big, Tone.
Big.
Settle in.
Switch. Hold him down. Good. Great. There you go.
Definition of a toss-up match here, Tony.
There you go. Back and forth.
Would be a huge fall. Would be huge bonus points.
Pick up leg. There you go.
Well done.
That's well done there. That's huge on the scoreboard.
One of the interesting things, Tony, is with the short preseason to see who's ready to wrestle.
Yeah, it's looks like West Everett's coming out with a vengeance. Stay under control.
Yep. Still some unbelievable wrestlers on this Lower Cape May lineup, but that bonus point right there is huge.
Yeah, I'm looking for them. I'm anticipating the marquee matchup right now.
Wesley Tosto. Wesley was an honorable mention last year, all conference at 132 against freshman David Wright.
Right, yeah.
And Wesley wasted no time trying to flip the momentum.
You know, I talked to a couple people about David. David's very strong for a freshman. Very strong, very technical. Had a really tough wrestle off. Looking for some exciting things from David this year.
Yeah, he's going to have to learn some lessons here. He's in a tough weight class for a freshman.
Yeah, very tough.
You get a lot of juniors and elite seniors.
Yep. You know.
Like that, he's not backing down now.
No, not at all. He's got the boots in. That's really tough. A lot of strain on the lower back there.
Yeah, Wes is a long 32, 38 pounder, and you get those long guys that want to throw boots. You know.
Don't reach back. I heard you saying that many times in the JV match.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't reach back.
Hey, one interesting fact about...
Oh, my.
Oh.
Nice.
Get
your two. Good.
Interesting tidbit about David Wright. He's actually one of our best divers in the school and has been participating in both diving and wrestling throughout the winter season here, which the NJSIAA has allowed. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Talk about an athlete.
Got a little sloppy there.
And I'll tell you what, Tony, one of the biggest things about this first match as a whole is the nerves that you have going into it.
Yes.
And you know, as an athlete, sometimes the nerves get the better of you.
Nice. Little Peterson there.
And you got to wonder, Lower Cape May, do they have those nerves?
That's a long ride, too.
Oh, yeah. All right, Tone, 4-4 as we wrap up the first quarter. What do you want to see from David Wright going into the second?
Hey, you gave him a late reversal there. Oof. Late 2 on there.
What do you want to see from David here going into the second?
Stay in control. Try and score if he's on the bottom. Don't wrestle sloppy. You don't want to get caught and give up any bonus points here. Keep wrestling hard. He's wrestling hard. They're both wrestling hard. They're both getting at it, like you said.
Interested to see who has more gas in the tank this early in the season. Who can go the distance? If I'm David, that's what I'm thinking. I'm pushing this thing to the third period and testing Wes's his gas.
Yeah, exactly. And he, who's coming down from more weight?
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's tight.
Tight right there on that cradle. He's fighting. Keep fighting. Oh,
that's a shame.
Tight cradle.
That's a shame. It's a good win. It's a big win for West Tosto. Lower Cape May needed to stop the bleeding, and they did it in big fashion with a 6-point fall.
That was a tough match. David wrestled tough.
Yeah. You said sloppy. I mean, he made some freshman mistakes right there, hanging his head against a long kid that's fishing for a cradle.
Right.
Lesson learned.
Exactly.
And now we got to see. Now the Tigers are making moves.
Yeah, you're talking a senior versus a freshman there too.
Yeah.
So. This is the 145?
145 right here.
At 145 pounds, your Tiger, Devin Bone. Denver Eagles, Duran Tinsley.
Devin Bone for the Tigers and senior Duran Tinsley for West Effort.
Good to see Duran out.
It is. Duran, a very strong athlete. Loves headlocks, as he's proven right here. But Devin doing a real nice job just taking what Duran's giving him.
Right.
What
There
Devin
you go.
needs to be careful of is Duran's got unbelievable
His athleticism
hips.
is crazy.
Yes.
Duran's strong too.
Yeah. And you talk about, oh man.
That is huge, Jay. Give me some.
You talk about momentum, Tony, and the impact. So now you're looking at 36-12. If you're the head coach of the Tigers right now, you're Billy Damiana, first match of the year. What are you saying right now to your team?
Just keep going out there and wrestling hard, guys. You know, what can you really say?
At 152 pounds, your Tigers, Michael Castellano. And for Eagles, Nate Schulte.
Junior Michael Castellano against junior Nate Schultes. Nate wrestled half the year last year, had a little bit of a concussion issue a year ago.
Right.
That ended his season, but his brother Brad also wrestled for the program last year. And if there's one thing that the Schultes do on the mat, it's be tough. So
Tough kids, man.
Yeah.
Real tough kids. I got to see him play some soccer this year. Had a great soccer season. It was good to see him come out. And there was a little bit of question there in the beginning of the year whether he was going to wrestle or not. But it's great to see Nate on the mat.
and he's starting strong here.
Yes, he is.
And this is a situation like we talked about earlier where, Nate's jacked up. He got the first takedown. He should not be thinking, hey, I need 6 here like some of my other teammates. It's let me wrestle. Yeah.
6 minutes.
Yep.
If the pin comes, the pin comes.
Yep.
You don't want to kill that gas tank in the beginning.
Exactly, because you know that these Lower Cape May Tigers, up top, they're
Up
very
top, they know
dangerous.
they're strong, so
Yes.
they're really not worried. You can look over there and see they're not worried.
Right.
You're always in the match.
Exactly. Now, we have Cody Thurston sitting at 195 as well.
Exactly.
So
And
you're not.
I'm so excited for that match right now.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, there you go. Being sloppy, Tons, what you're talking
There you
about. Nate going for a little tilt right
there.
there.
Yep.
Got to be careful with tilts. You don't put yourself on your back, and you got to watch your hips. It's similar to when you're a leg rider. Always got to be conscious of where your hips are.
Exactly. Exciting weekend.
Absolutely. And
We got NCAAs this weekend.
that's right.
West Effort Wrestling Friday, Saturday.
Oh, man, it's a great weekend for Tony Scirrotto. I'll tell you what, man. No wonder you're skipping Cornhole League for this tonight, baby.
That's right. I missed my league tonight to come and do this with you, Jay. But I love West Effort Wrestling. I love West Effort,
Yep. Castellano doing a nice job putting moves together.
Nice mat return there.
If Michael Castellano can keep this 2-0 going in the second period, which he looks like he's going to do, he'll be in great shape. When you get a situation where you have 3-4 good wrestlers in a row, then those guys are drilling every day in the room together, and that one guy's going to be just as good as the next because of that drill partner that he has. I'm sorry, Bond. Yeah, Bond. Sorry, I was saying Mike Castellano. I'm sorry,
Devin Bond, right?
So Devin Bond is wrestling with the Tosto brothers every single day, and
Exactly.
just beating each other up and getting better and better.
Yeah, and they flipped them around, so they're all about the same weight anyway, I think.
Yep. All right, let's see. This is a big period for Bone right here.
Yep, need Nate to be strong, get out. Nice control on top by Bond. Nice stand up. Schultes with the reversal.
Yeah, it's big.
Nice job, Nate.
Now, if he just takes his time here.
Yep.
Chest to chest.
Sink that arm a little deeper. There you go. Nice. This could
Great
be huge.
transition.
This could be huge right
It
here.
could be the
Jay.
match.
All right, spin behind. There you go. Nice job, Nate.
This is Castellano. Yeah, this is Castellano. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Castellano.
Baum was with Tinsley. Apologize to the Lower Cape May fans out there for. We're just working out the kinks here. We're gonna get it right.
First night. First night.
First night jitters. But Nate has extended his lead to 6-0 tone, and like you said in the beginning of the match, he just needs to wrestle smart. It looks like that's what he's doing. And
Yeah, so he got the 2 and the 4, right?
yes,
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Riding.
Now, it's going to be Lower Cape May's choice in the third period, Tone. What do you do with Castellano here being down 6-0?
Well, they always talk about the down position being the scoring position. So, although Nate's riding really, really well.
I know. Do you go on your feet and just
Yeah.
try to go, big or at least get on the board with a takedown?
Down 6-0. If it ends 6-0, yeah, I think you start neutral. Try and take him down. You might have to take down, let him up.
I mean, the goal for Nate here is just get bonus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, he's going neutral. Good call.
Nate needs 8. No. The good thing for Nate is if he can get another takedown and stay up at least 8 points, that gives us that would be in the bonus.
Exactly. There you go. Which Nate did well in the first period. He got the takedown. Here he is right now. He's getting the other takedown. Good job.
Very good.
Nice spin behind there.
So now with an 8-point win, that's 14 points for the Eagles. And in a match like this against such a good team like Lower Cape May, you're looking to get any bonus you can get.
Yeah, that major's big for this match.
And you never know. Maybe these guys are going to see each other down the road.
Exactly.
Maybe they both make it to
They're
region.
good. Both 7 and 8, right? Region 7 and 8.
Yep. Region 7 and 8 this year just came out today. Will be wrestled at Cherry Hill East High School. Come on, Nate really doing a nice job.
Nate is. Good job. Working to the side.
So already, Tony, we're at 150.
2-on-1. Nice.
We are 20 minutes into this match.
It's
and
almost
there are
over.
1, 2, 3, 4 matches to go. 5 matches to go.
So this is a huge match right here. This was one of my keys to victory match right here before they made all the bumps and switches. But I had talked to you today, Jay, and it was the 152-pound match with Schultes was going to be the key to victory. And if he bonus points it, that's even better.
Yep. What he can't do is he can't stop wrestling.
No, you can't stop now. You just can't go for the win.
And I wonder, how much of this first match, you've seen a lot of pins today in the JV and the varsity, and usually you've already been in 2 tournaments by now, and
Nice.
you've wrestled in 2 scrimmages. I wonder how much of the not having that experience impacts these teams.
Right. I can't speak from personal experience, but I just know how much these kids work hard to get into wrestling shape. You talk to wrestlers, wrestling shape is so different.
Yep.
Doing jiu-jitsu for a while, wrestling with rolling around with people on the mat is very difficult.
Yeah, and I want to give massive props to head coach Nick Iraldi and assistant coach James Shields. With the season being bumped back, they've had 3 full months to get in the weight room, and they have done it, man. I'll tell you what, they've been in there 3-4 times a week, and they get after it, believe me.
I can attest to that. They've been in there.
So this is one of the stronger teams from top to bottom that we've had.
Exactly.
Christian Campanaro for Lower Cape May and the sophomore Dom Gentile for the Eagles. Dom's first varsity action here. Campanaro doing a nice job.
Nice.
Gentile scrambles out. Dom's the best way to define Dom is scrappy. Yeah.
I can see that.
You think you got him, and all of a sudden he's reversing you.
Yep. You could just see the West Effort kids. They're just their definition. They just look a lot stronger.
Yep, 5 a.m. lift, still working out in season. Our coaching staff does a great job ensuring that every day there's not a match. They are in there at 5 a.m. Getting a 45-minute hard workout in.
It's pivotal when you don't get to wrestle a lot.
Yeah.
So what do we have, like 14, 15 matches this year?
Yeah, 15 matches is the max. Ooh, nice attempt at a high kick. He's got that elbow, looking for a fireman's.
Nice defense there.
Yeah, it looks like Campanaro has some different
he's got some talent.
attacks. Yeah, certainly. Looking for a fireman's carry there. Nice job by Dom showing the strength that we're talking about to sag his hips out of that. Oh, nice duck. Or outside single, excuse me. Campanaro trying to get some funk going here.
Dom wrestling tough here.
He is. I think he's very similar to Schultes in the sense that he's just got to kind of wrestle a smart match and let what comes to him come to him.
Right.
Locked hands.
One, not two. No. There we go. Right at the end of the period.
Yeah, you said it, Tone. I mean, one of the things that's one of my pet peeves is giving up points at the end of a period or a quarter in any sport because of the momentum swing that happens. You know, there's just it's so hard as the wrestler it's giving up the points or the player or team giving up the points not to have some kind of emotional letdown.
Yep.
Even if it's minute, it's still there.
I mean, even there, Matt returned him. He starts to switch, break away, give up the one, not the two. Mm-hmm. You're still winning after the first.
Exactly. And again, Dom, still young. He saw a couple of varsity matches last year, but it was not a full-time starter in the lineup. This year he is. And he's going to have to learn with every single match that he wrestles some more savvy.
Exactly.
Trying to work some boots here.
And they're showing well. I mean, they graduated a lot of very good seniors last year.
Yep.
And for their first match, they're showing very well.
Yep. Re-switch.
Nice.
Fish in a cradle. Off the re-switch. Tigers last year beat Oakcrest in the opening round of the NJSI Group 2 South playoffs. Lost a tough match to Haddonfield in the semis, 38-23. So they weren't far away from being a finals team last year with some pretty good firepower back.
Yeah, just going through their lineup, they had a lot of interesting matches coming up.
(4-3) Gentile, 40 seconds to go. Check that. 4-4. This is where Dom needs to be the aggressor here.
Exactly. Seconds left. This is when you don't want to give up points here.
30 seconds left. All right, Tone. Scenario time. 4-4 going in the third. What are you doing? Your choice. Dom's choice. You're in this corner.
Hand fighting. Maybe.
But going in the third period, what's your decision? Top, bottom,
I'm taking bottom.
Taking bottom. Okay. We give up a takedown. We're down 6-4 going in the third. What's your decision?
Neutral.
Okay, we get a takedown here. We're up 6-4 going in the third. What's your decision?
I'm still going bottom.
All right. Yep. I'm on board. This is a big moment right here. 5 seconds to go. He's got to fight. Can't give up to.
No. Nice.
Whew.
That was too close for me, Jay. If Campanaro spins around 2 seconds earlier,
it's a whole different ball.
Whole different game.
4-4 is where Campanaro wants to be right now.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's our choice. It's the Eagles' choice going into the third. So
yeah, you got to take down, get out. Hopefully, get your takedown. All right, you get out. Even if you get taken down, you escape. It's an even. It's all tied up.
What I like about Campanaro is I like his confidence. Oh, Spladle City, no way. Oh, good job. Oh.
There you go.
Campanaro going big early. Got to scramble. What I like about Campanaro is his confidence. He got on top right there and had a look in his eye. Like, I'm right where I want to be. 4-4 going into the third, which means he's got plenty of gas left.
Exactly.
It's high right now.
Yep. Power half there. Stretching him out.
Got to keep his hips to the mat. No. Good job by Campanaro taking his time and getting a count here.
Oh,
Scramble.
nice. He had that leg scissor in there.
All right, so we gave him the free release, which puts Campanaro up 8-6. We know we need to take down now. And
This is the gut check time here.
yes,
nice.
you got that right.
Good shot. Switch from a double to a single.
He's got to finish right now. Campanaro has no stalling. He can just hang here.
Ride. Just pull the ankle, pull the foot, pull the foot.
He's got to get that leg free and high leg over the top here.
30 seconds, Jay.
Campanaro doing a nice job sinking his hips to the mat.
Yep.
You're right, Tone. Gut check time. Let's. Oh, thank you. I was gonna say we'd
Little
like to see a
stall,
stalemate right there. Gives us life. So one thing is, Dom's going for a double right there. He's got to finish. You can't hang on your knees right there and expect to finish. So whatever gas you got left in the tank, we need to cut it loose.
Yep.
Good outside single, got to finish. Head pressure. Nice job by Campanaro.
Yes, it was. Hey, that's a good shot, though.
Yeah.
You lose 8-6 or you lose 10-6. You know what I mean? At least you went for it.
It's a solid win for Campanaro. Lesson learned there from Dom Gentile. Dom's going to be very good. He's going to be very good. He's got skills.
And not having a lot of varsity experience when you get up here, it's a whole different game.
100%. Braden Castillo, big match right here. Castillo, a state qualifier last year against sophomore Jordan Roan. We're going to see a lot of action here.
Yes, sir.
And there's one thing I can tell you about Jordan Roan is fearless is his middle name. He's going to come at you with everything he's got for as long as he needs to.
You can see that in anything he does.
Yep.
I mean, just like this past season, you moved him to linebacker.
Yeah.
He wasn't very big for a linebacker, but nobody intimidated him, and he made a lot of tackles.
Two-way starter at linebacker and offensive guard for us, and that got cut down to 170. Very, very strong young kid here. Castillo obviously has the skill set to be a dangerous wrestler, so anticipate a lot of action here, Tom.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, it's
Nice.
good. Nice little single. Good
Nice.
scramble. Check your hips. I'll tell you what. These are two. This is good wrestling.
Yeah.
Nice job by Castillo with the chain wrestling. Never looked like he was out of sorts there. Just kind of settling in on that ride.
No panic whatsoever.
I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those matches to see who's got more left in the end.
Exactly. Hard on that 2-on-1.
Short time. Would love to see a point here from Jordan. Short time meaning 15, 12 seconds or less.
Yep. Doesn't look like he's getting up though.
Castillo did a nice job trapping the one-on-one. So we were talking about earlier, Tony, with regions being strongly decided by criteria, and you look at the top of Lower Cape May's lineup, you got Castillo, state qualifier, Connor Eckel, fourth in the district, Sean Connolly, region qualifier, Hebron, state qualifier at 95, transfer Shane Whitney, state runner-up from Virginia. Mm-hmm. So major firepower. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches to go. Is that correct?
4 matches, right?
4 matches to go.
70, 82, 95, 220.
So if they got 28 points, they pinned their way through. 24 points, excuse me. English major, not a math major, Tom.
Actually,
be
they only
39.
got 82, 90. Yeah, three weights after this.
Okay, so at
started
the
at
worst.
heavyweight.
So at the worst,
You're looking at, well, I don't see Cody getting pinned.
40-39. So add 24 on the 15. You got 40-39. Check my math there, but.
And what are you giving this match?
You know, I don't see Jordan getting pinned, but worst case scenario.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
Now, what are you looking for Jordan? What are you looking for from Jordan in this scenario?
I'm just looking for Jordan to keep wrestling hard. His opponent's a very, very good wrestler. Just, work his way up, try and score his point, get out, wrestle smart. Don't try and do anything out of the normal. There you go. He's going to cut him. Now he's going to cut you. You got to go get him. Go take him down.
Back to your offense.
Exactly.
And he's got
There
it.
you go. Nice. Good, Jordan.
I'll tell you what.
Exactly.
That's good. It's big.
Very big. That's huge. You're going to let him up, and then he comes and takes you down. That's big.
I like Castillo does a nice job hitting that whizzer immediately upon Jordan getting in there. Jordan, when he goes to that outside single, cannot let Castillo post with his leg inside, in between Jordan's legs, and whizzer down on it. Something to be aware of later, because the shot's there. It's just got to have a different finish.
Exactly.
Big points late.
Did they go away from 2 refs this year, Jack?
2 refs are usually only used in playoff matches. This is good to see. It's good to see that Jordan can get wrist control. He's not going to be able to finish with the time left.
Nice.
But what it does is it establishes some dominance on top, and makes you wonder, should we go down here? They have to, because they're down 3-2. But
Jordan just got to ride. He's got to ride real well here. Keep working that bar.
Does not.
He's getting beat on the whistle.
Yeah, he is. Castillo's doing a heck of a job on the whistle starts, and I just don't like the way Jordan's hips are sinking. You see what I'm saying? His hips are all over. Now it's 2 reversal and backs.
And back points. And
we're in trouble. If he comes out of this, so that's a great job. A handful of kids give up right there, Tony.
Yep. Especially with a wrestler like Castillo on top of him.
Okay, so now we're down 4. We go into the period up 1. Now we're down 4. Castillo does a great job taking advantage of a bad situation for Jordan.
Yeah.
But
one thing you'll see with Jordan, he won't give up.
Right.
Like you said, it's early in the season. I don't know how much gas these kids have, but Castillo's riding really tough on top.
There's a shot.
He's got to get up and get out.
Yeah. Now, if I'm Castillo here, I'm being very cautious about the decisions that I make. I do not want to try to hit something that's going to get me in a problem. Nope. I'd like to see maybe a
work to the side, old school spiral ride. Keep working.
Castillo's got to be careful. You don't want to do something where you're going to get a potentially dangerous. You don't want to restart.
Yeah,
you don't want to restart. This is where Jordan's got to be real tough. Castillo doing a nice job taking his time with that. Okay, so even if we give up 3, 2, 5. That's a good match.
That's a major, right?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's just it's by 7, so. Regular decision. I know that Jordan's going to be frustrated himself, but he gave a state qualifier a heck of a run right there.
Exactly.
And Castillo wrestled really smart at the end of the match. Region qualifier Sean Connolly here at 182 against senior Ian Corey. This is Ian's not first action in the lineup, but first year as a starter in the lineup. Another strong kid.
Yep.
Wrestling up a couple weight classes. He's not a true 82 pounder. Okay.
Nice takedown to the mat.
nice job by Ian taking his time there and not getting called for a potentially dangerous. You know, as soon as you let that opponent go, if he comes to the mat uncontrolled, it's going to be stopping the match. It's going to be a technical violation and a point for the opponent.
Yeah, that one mat return in the JV match looked a little rough. I mean, I thought I was watching a college match.
Once I saw that, I wasn't really worried about points being taken for slams. Anyway, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you weren't getting that. I was like, wow, that was a nice college return there.
Good job by Connolly right there. If there's anywhere I'd say that Ian maybe a little bit needs a little bit of work, it's on the mat.
Right.
He's got good takedown. He's a well-built, strong kid, strong lower half, but and he's explosive. So he's got to hit the first move here. Lower Cape May has done a nice job all night of winning whistle starts on the mat.
Yeah, Connolly controlling the whole thing here.
Yeah, he is.
Tough ride.
He is. He's posted up there under the armpit.
The thing about high school, though, you don't get riding time points. So,
that's right.
Work to the side and try and improve.
I know the one thing that Coach Iraldi always preaches is we're looking to score points. He takes a lot of pride in making sure West Effort wrestlers, and traditionally we've never been a team to kind of hang out, but Coach Iraldi, when he wrestled, he was a constant on-the-move guy, and that's what he demands from his wrestlers. So they're going to keep pushing in to keep working here to get a point.
Yeah, I remember when Nick wrestled, and I think we were in the playoffs, and he was wrestling with either a torn or sprained ACL, MCL. Just a tough kid.
Absolutely, and has made major strides in cementing himself as a very young coach in South Jersey, already with 2 South Jersey titles under his belt. And
it's awesome, though, Jay. You sit here as an alumni, and you look over at the bench, and you see all West Effort alumni as coaches.
That's right.
And then the help of Mike McConville.
Yep. And you got Drew Spector over there and James Shields. All these guys wrestled together for the great Johnny Craig and and Lower Cape May doing the same thing. Billy Demiana is a Lower Cape May product. I remember when he was a wrestler. When I was the head coach at Monmouth Regional, we wrestled Lower Cape May, and Billy was I believe he was an 89 pounder at the time or 215 and.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in and he gets his first playoff win since like 1983. He's just improving with the kids down there that they got in Lower Cape May.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to imagine, there's certainly when you're at a school like Lower Cape May where your distance of travel from every opponent you're wrestling is certainly not to your advantage. So that speaks to the toughness that to go 17-2 last year when you're traveling all around South Jersey to get a match, it certainly shows the toughness of a squad.
Exactly. Sean Connolly doing a good job here riding on top.
Yeah, he's constantly at work.
Yeah.
And what I like is where his hips have been positioned the entire mat, just covering Ian's hips.
Yep. Ian's wrestling. He's not wrestling bad. He's keeping his head up off the mat. He's just got to, get to his base, get up.
One of those situations where you're talking, don't give up bonus points. I know score might be 40-18, but we need to learn how to fight and understand where the match is. You're down 3 right now.
Right. You still want to keep the mentality, even though there's no team playoffs this year. You want to keep the mentality of doing what's best, as far as score-wise for the team.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's hard. It's hard because we've been preaching. I mean, after winning our last 2 South Jersey titles, that's one of the things that you look to the most. If you want to become a dynastic type of program, the opportunity to win 3 titles in a row would have been phenomenal. We don't have that this year.
I know.
So it's a great point that you make that while it's not really about a team championship this year, you still have to understand the team aspect of the sport.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I was reading an article where, one of the other South Jersey teams, Kingsway, they're going to wrestle the teams that the paper have like 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Just to on paper say, hey, we wrestled these teams and possibly win.
Ranked, I believe they're ranked. What are they? 4 or 5?
Fifth in the state. Yeah. So, you still want to wrestle the toughest teams, and you still want to, win the matches.
Yeah, and the Eagles looking forward to a very tough schedule. Obviously, the Colonial Conference brings its own level of competitiveness. And this year, the Colonial has changed up the divisions, where we've done it by your success the past few years. So for the first time, Paulsboro is actually in the Liberty Division now.
Wow. So
you're looking at a Colonial Conference Liberty Division of Paulsboro, West Effort, Collingswood, Haddonfield, Sterling.
There's some good wrestling there.
It is an absolute. But at the same time, you have a ton of pride.
Yeah.
That's your home
programs
conference.
like Audubon, Brian Farnham over at Haddon Township.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think they're all
a lot of pride in the Colonial Conference wrestling.
So aside from those matches, your divisional matches, you look out of conference, and you're wrestling Lower Cape May, and you're wrestling Williamstown and Clearview, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Gateway, another very tough team in the Colonial. It's actually going to be an outdoors match, Tones. I know you'll be excited about.
That'll be awesome.
That's right up your alley. So we got
Awesome.
two planned outdoor matches this year, one against Gateway at Gateway and one against Clearview at Clearview. Really looking forward to that.
Clearview, that'd be a tough match too.
Oh, absolutely. With region implications up and down the lineup.
Exactly.
Nice job by Ian working to his feet,
job,
getting one.
Ian.
All right, 1 minute to go, Tone. What are you telling Ian Corey right here?
He's got to get offensive now.
On cue, takes a shot.
Tough shot.
It was.
You got to give Connolly credit, man. Connolly fought off, sprawled real well. Spun around, got the 2.
What I like about Connolly is he does a nice job being a defensive wrestler and scoring points as a defensive wrestler.
And now he's getting offensive,
Right. Clearly feels very comfortable on the mat.
Yep.
27.
You would expect that from somebody who's been to regions,
Yep, absolutely.
done
I've done a
very
lot of
well.
wrestling.
Yeah. Sean, he was 24-4 last year.
It's impressive.
Impressive record last year, and doing a good job this year. I give Ian credit though.
Absolutely.
He wrestled hard, 3 periods.
Ian came in weighing.
This is what we talked about toss-up matches. You're not on paper. You're not supposed to win this match, but you only give up 3 points.
Yes.
So that's awesome. That's a great job by Ian Corey.
Great point. 100%.
There's a kid that had 4 losses last year, went to regions, and you only give up 3. And you wrestled a couple varsity matches last year. That's a great job by Ian. This is the marquee match. This is the one I was waiting for, Joe.
Marcus Hebron, Lower Cape May, state qualifier, a junior. Cody Thurston, West Effort senior, placed 8th in the state a year ago. First team all conference. Wrestled at 220 pounds, placed 8th at 220. Excuse me. Wrestling down at 195 right now. One of the stronger kids in the building. Certainly one of the best athletes in the building. Also an all-conference tight end.
One of the most polite.
Yeah.
I see Cody every day. He's a very, very good kid.
I think the thing about Cody that's one of his trademarks is his physicality and his athleticism for a big kid. Physically he's a specimen, but very physical.
Nice.
Hebron coming back with a switch. Cody got a ride.
There you go. Here we go, working the 2-on-1.
Hebron 14-3 last year, so solid year for a sophomore.
And qualified for state.
Yeah. And when he can do things like Cody can do at a heavier weight class, there's just no substitute for that. When you got kids that can wrestle like a 52-pounder at 195 and 220, speaking from experience, it ain't fun wrestling against those guys.
He's throwing Bouts at 195.
Right. Yeah. I want to bang your head. I want to grab your wrist. I don't want Bouts on me.
No, and I don't want the power half on the back of my neck
That's
either.
right. And Cody's a longer kid. He's a 6'2", 6'2 and a half. So
Yeah. I think he's going to Ursinus, correct?
going to Ursinus College, yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Going out there with another West Everett alumni.
Yep.
Jason Carter.
Jason Carter. Cannot get lazy here.
Don't get
I don't like finishing in that position for Cody. Butt on the mat. I know he knew how much time was left, but I know he's going for the whole shot this year in his final attempt. And you got to be dominant every second, in every position.
I can remember when he came in his freshman year, maybe even when we were coaching him in 8th grade, Jay, he was always like, I'm going to win a state championship.
Yep.
I give him a lot of credit.
Yep. Very driven, has matured significantly emotionally. Hebron himself throwing some boots, looking for a
Little spladle action.
for a spladle. That's the third Lower Cape May wrestler I've seen try to throw a spladle. So obviously something Coach Damiana certainly teaches, and they like it if they can get it. Potentially dangerous call there with
Cody standing up.
Cody standing up and none of Hebron's body touching the mat.
You're out.
We could end up in that situation again here. Hebron's got to be careful.
Yep, Cody's strong there.
Good decision.
Very nice.
Good patience there from Cody, not
Yep.
trying to rush anything.
That's exactly right. Strong base gets up.
But the good news is, Tony, the Eagles have wrapped up this match. So no matter what happens from this point forward, they're going to get their first win. And Coach Shields doing a little Coach Folsom-esque sandbagging me today about how tight the match is going to be. But, I mean, we just have the utmost respect for Lower Cape May. When you look at their resume, you have to.
You have to. When I was looking at that match, we were talking about it today. It was, on paper, it was a lot closer.
Great job by the lower weights and by coming out and getting bonus. And great job, like you talked about, in those toss-up matches. A guy like Ian Corey.
I mean, any match is tough. You're giving up 12 points right off the bat and forfeits. That's tough to come back from.
Yeah, agreed.
Good match by Cody. Let's go, Cody.
Yeah, great start to the 2021 season.
Good job.
And with a fall, that's going to wrap this match up. 46 points for the Eagles. We will forfeit a 220, which will make the final 46-27. And that's a heck of a start from Coach Iraldi. That's going to be a 45-minute match.
That's real quick. Was that Whitney?
That was Shane Whitney, transfer from Virginia State, runner-up. And we wish him a lot of luck this year. Wish both teams a lot of luck this year. Tony, that was, I'll tell you what, you talk about efficiency for our first match together. It doesn't get better than that, buddy.
That was quick, brother.
Good job, man. We'll see you back here on Friday night. We'll see Eagle Nation back here on Friday night as the Sterling Knights come back to town. Great job. West Everett wins tonight 46-27 to get their first win of the season over the Lower Cape May Tigers. Take care, everybody.